Morning, everybody. This is going to be my last day on the Yuba. I got a special invitation to some virgin ground that's proven in Arizona, so I'll be going back there in the morning. But this is going to be a long day. I'm going to do some tests up here at this claim. Some of you know where it's at. Got a little bit of gold out of here the other day. And I'm going to show you what I get, but I'm going to be going to another claim, or at least 2 spots on that I need to check out. And I got my gear here, I'm not sluicing, I'm just going to do test pans. And I'll bring you back on when I get ready to go up the mountain here, or up the bank, river bank, to where I'm going to test. So, I'll pause you for now, bring you back on in a bit. Okay, this is the first spot. This is where I was digging the first day. I was here. I cleaned that out. It was pretty full. And there's a bunch of little drill holes down here that I can mess with, but that's not what I'm here for today. I'm heading up there. I'm going to try to get some material off of that bench there. And I'm going to go on around the corner here, and I'll show you where I'm digging, and I'll bring it back, maybe a half a bucket, and pan it out. Okay, so my first 2 test holes up here are filled with nothing but silt, nothing but float gravel. I dug down this little trap here, but I can't get that rock out of there. So I'm going to have to move on to greener pastures. I'm going to have to find someplace else to dig. I'll bring you back on when I got something to show you. Okay, this is the kind of thing you run up against. This has been dug a little bit here and there. And there was this crevice right here. It's really not a crevice, it's just a depression that somebody started. Now this one next to it, I started myself. And if you look down in there, I think I'm showing it to you, it just keeps going and going. Now in order for me to get at that efficiently, efficiently I have to keep trying to get down in there with my scoop or whatever and get the material out. But ideally, all this gravel over here, all around that pan and beyond, would have to be moved out of the way in order for me to work that properly. So that's the kind of quandary you're in sometimes when you're doing this kind of thing. It's never as easy as it looks. So anyway, I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it, and I'll bring you back on when I do. Alright, so you'll remember my options. Either move all this overburden so I can get at that hole, or move some of the overburden and see if I can get down in there to some kind of something that'll stop gold with a scoop and all. And I got the hole pretty deep, and I cleaned out the bottom as well as I could. So I'm going to go pan this out, and I'll give you an update after I do that. Because it looks like I'm going to fill this in. It looks like a lot of float sand. So it looks like I'm going to fill it in and look for someplace else to dig. And this is it's going to be a long day, so I got a lot of things to do yet. I got some people waiting for me downriver, and I'm going to have to get moving. So I'll pause you and I'll bring you back on and let you know what the results of this pan is. Okay, so I took that down there and panned it out, and there were 3 specks of gold in it. Now I want you to know, when I started this, see that rock over there with the moss on it? That rock was on top of this crevice, but the moss side was down. So that should tell you that somebody's been in there and they put that rock there to cover this crevice. And that's pretty much what we do when we're finished with a crevice. We fill it in, just so somebody else doesn't dig in the same spot. But that tells you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill this hole in and move on. So I'll bring you back on when I got something else to show you. Alrighty, this is my next spot. Now anybody knows gold, and benzo prospecting knows gold, knows that you ignore tree roots at your own risk. Now I've been looking around in here, and I moved this around, and a lot of these rocks around this old tree root here are really stuck in there. I've had to work to get them loose. Now it still looks like float sand in there, but I'm going to work the upper side and the lower side. And if you watch, you'll see that I can just barely move this rock. And anybody that knows me knows that means that rock's coming out of there. And it was packed in pretty solid. So anyway, I'm going to develop this hole, And it may be the last one here. Because I really do have to get back downstream and do some prospecting there and show some people how to do this kind of thing. So I'll bring you back on in a while. Okay, so it was 2 rocks, not 1. They're both out of the hole. And they were heavy. When you're out here doing this, make sure you don't do more than you know you should. So anyway, I got that hole opened up on this side of that side of the tree root. This side's still to do. And I'm going to get a pan out of that and take it down and pan it, and I'll show you the results, or I'll let you know what they are when I bring you back on. Boy, did I make a big hole. Anyhow, I panned that out, and I got like 4 specks. So I'm going to do one more pan out of it at this area, and then I've got to fill the hole in and go back downstream. Now this is going to be a continuation. It's going to go on for the rest of the day, but I'll bring you back on when I get the results of the next pan. Okay, I got another half a pan of the best material I can get out of there. You can see I got that whole wall worked out. And it's big enough for me to get half into. So I'm going to go ahead and roll these rocks back into it because I'm not going to dig in it anymore. And then I'm going to take this down there and pan it out. And I'll let you watch me pan it out. But I'm going to pause you until I get this done. And then we got to head downstream, cross the river, and head downstream. So I'll bring you back on in a bit. Okay. I can never tell if this thing's on or off when I'm in the sunshine. Okay, we're recording. I'm back where I started. As a matter of fact, this is where I started the first day I was here on the river. So, I'm going to pan this out that I got out of that hole up there. I filled in that tree root and all. And then we're going to go downriver to another claim. In the meantime, I want to say thank you to Tim for allowing me access to your claim. It's a beautiful spot on the river. And it is pretty much representative of what I've had access to. So here we go. One thing I can say about this is it's not your typical float sand. So it's down in there where there's kind of a loam and almost a clay, I guess. But came out of that tree root, around in tree roots. And it's not that big a deal. But what I've seen so far is pretty much representative about what you're going to find in the kind of places I've been digging on the Yuba River, which means mostly specks, except in the deepest crevices and cracks where you would most expect to find gold. If they haven't been worked already, and you find one that somebody worked and just didn't finish, well, you got something you might be able to get something out of. I've gotten a couple pickers, but they were out of, this time I'm talking, and they were out of a crevice that somebody started but didn't finish. I finished it, and when I was finishing it, I was on my belly trying to reach down in there to get the material out of the bottom. So that's the kind of thing you might have to do. Now I'm going to get this stuff all stirred around. It does feel good in the pan. It feels stiff. Even dry, it feels a little stiff. Now it's getting nice and wet. certain point, yeah, you get some water in your pan, get rid of those big rocks. Making sure, of course, that none of them are nuggets. But okay. It doesn't look like there's much black sand. I thought there was more black sand. What's that? Okay, we're gonna spin this back and get rid of some of that float. There's that sunshine in the pan. That means it's time to get downriver. And let's spin this back and get rid of that rock. Now a little bit of black sand. We'll see if there is gold in it. And there it is. Try to show it to you. Not nothing spectacular. There it is there. Nah, I don't even know if you can see it, but we'll try to show it to you. Right there at the top of the pan. I'll put my thumb where it's at. Right underneath my thumb. Can you see my thumb? I can't tell. I got the sun shining on me here. Anyway, there's a little speck of gold there. And there's probably some fines in this thing. So I'm going to pause you. Because I'm getting ready to go downriver here. So, we'll take care of this thing.